Channel 2's Paul Shankman shows us a young man whose dreams are to create your nightmares.
At age 27, Jack Snyder wants to become a movie director so badly he can taste it. And in fact, for the past 3 years, he's been tasting it, writing, directing, and producing a full-length horror film. Working at this film processing plant and several other jobs is how he's paying for it.
I really didn't sink my life savings in it because I never really had a life savings. I just sank paycheck to paycheck into it, and if I didn't spend it on that, I would have spent it on something else anyway, probably.
Jack's interest in filmmaking began at age 14 when Santa brought him a movie camera. 4 years ago, he bought a better one, with which he has made a sometimes rather bloody picture called A Most Memorable Weekend.
A 3 or 4 line summary of the plot of this thing. Parapsychology professor sends 10 students to investigate a house where psychic phenomena is taking place at, where a man, now this isn't proper English, where a man has supposedly killed his entire family.
In all, the film cost $20,000 to make and took 9 months to shoot, using a cast made up mostly of Jack's friends. A la Hitchcock, Jack himself makes a cameo appearance.
As far as horror films go, I can really take them or leave them. I'm not like a horror film buff, but horror films seem to be the easiest, most accessible film for me to make. And it can be made inexpensively, and the audience accepts it. I haven't made a slasher film, even though some of the clips you might have seen might look like that. I haven't made a slasher film. I have a plot, and there are subplots, believe it or not. I mean, you actually have to pay attention to this movie, you know, because there's a story there.
Jack's plans are to try first for regular theatrical release. If that doesn't work, the video market is next on the list. He, of course, has braced himself for the possibility that no one will want his film. That's showbiz. But it's also a biz that Jack loves, and one he intends to pursue, regardless of his initial success or failure.
I love movies, and I loved working on this film, and there's a lot of areas where I could have cut corners that would have saved time and maybe even some money, but I didn't do it. I call it a controlled obsession, is what I do. I don't let it consume my life, but I let it be a large enough part. A lot of people would call it an obsession. I call it a controlled obsession. I love it.
In St. Louis, Paul Shankman, Channel 2 News.
Controlled